what's the best piece of advice you've ever had?
The best piece of advice was don't listen to shit advice. So that served me really, really well because, as I mentioned before, Amy and I were told never go into business. I mean, I always seek advice because I think it's important to get opinions of others and make sure you're doing, your due diligence. But I'm always very strong in what I choose to listen to and what I choose to don't listen to. And so, yeah, shit advice, I definitely do not listen to. And I guess I'm not even sure if this was advice I was ever given, but it's definitely been my personality that has helped, I think, get me to where I am. But that's never, ever stop learning. Every opportunity, take it because it will open a door in some sense. Particularly every opportunity to learn. For me, I try and do as much learning as I can. I have 2 days dedicated to one business a week, 2 days to another business, and my Wednesday, my day in between, is my learning day. And I really dedicate as much time as I can through that working week to reading, to podcasts, to webinars, to courses, to qualifications. And it doesn't just teach you the thing you've gone to learn. It opens opportunities to meet people and to network and to see things in a different way. So I guess, yeah, don't listen to shit advice and always keep learning.
I think it's good. If you were to give advice to your younger self, and it can be the kid at school, it could be you when you first set up, it could be you at the start of the pandemic. If you were to give advice to your younger self, what would it be?
I would say this is quite boring advice, but I'll tell you what it is anyway, and maybe think of something more exciting. Learn the numbers.
Okay.
I think it's probably the advice I'd give myself as a younger entrepreneur, because I didn't know the difference between revenue and cash flow. I didn't know how one number affected another number. I went into Unwritten, in fact, so I'm not even talking about the first couple of businesses I had, which were, less serious businesses, but I went into Unwritten really not understanding numbers properly in the financials. And only when you really know that information can you make proper informed decisions.
Yeah.
I've always been a bit of a maths geek. I love numbers. I always do. I do loads of the bookkeeping. I've done lots of the financial projections. I do, data analytics with marketing. Everything's based on numbers, but I didn't learn financial numbers quick enough. And that financial intelligence definitely is what sets you apart from being able to grow and survive as a business. That's my boring advice.
That's no, honestly, that's not like, I would 100% agree with that. And actually, the first person that said that on the podcast was a guy called Paul Blake, who runs Newcastle Eagles. But he said probably 10 years ago when he first set up, there was a certain point when they ran out of cash. And it's, it's part of the reason why it's the new module at the end of the roadmap. Is it's so important to kind of learn, because anyone that the more cash you have in the big business, it's like oxygen. You can deploy that in marketing and different things, but unless you're cash generative, and again, a lot of traditional MBAs won't teach you that. So it's not bad advice. That's brilliant advice.
No, it's so important. And I mean, 2 or 3 times in the early years of Unwritten, Amy and I nearly ran out of cash. And we were billing a ton more than we were spending. We were, making good profit in the business, but we weren't keeping an eye on the cash, and we didn't understand why there wasn't any money in the bank when on the balance sheet it was healthy. And that took a few times before we realized the importance of it. And I think had we understood that before we'd gone into the business, we probably would have grown and scaled a lot quicker, or maybe not even a lot quicker, but certainly without some of the big ups and downs, because we'd suddenly hit that, where's all the money? And we'd go on this crazy drive to like build up again. And then we're like, oh, we're stable again. And then we weren't watching the same thing and we drop again. So it's such important advice. And you have to self-teach that, because you can't easily go and, you can read a book on it, or you can get somebody great in to help you. And I've had great advisors on that side, luckily, since the beginning of my business journey, but them advising you is not the same as you knowing and understanding it. And
it's that sick feeling in your stomach when you're like, fuck. Even Shana agrees it's really good advice.